Hello, this is the first ever YouTube video from Great Western Park Church and comes from a reflection over a number of days thinking about this crisis that we are all involved with. I wonder what you are like at getting instruction. Everyone, of course, has been given advice or been getting advice during this time when the government realized that its own advice on social distancing was not being heeded. Advice turned to instruction. We were told what isolation meant. We were told how often we could go out and who, under very limited circumstances, we could meet. It didn't just come from our elected officials. We are all trying to offer each other, those whom we live with, those whom we work with advice about staying put, about looking after each other, and about keeping sane. Even my own employer, the Church of England, offers almost daily advice on how we can care for others and ourselves. When all this started, my reaction, as is often the case when there are challenging circumstances, was to rebel. I'm energized by getting together. We are social creatures, and the desire to meet is very strong. But of course that couldn't carry on, and we're all having to find ways around, ways of meeting virtually. And I'm sure you, as I am, are having to learn new ways of web-based seminars and getting together. The idea of staying connected and indeed even in joining in. Who would have believed that all of us would have been in this spot now? And as much as I want to ensure that all of you who live in Great Western Park and in Didcot are safe, that your children are content and educated, that you have enough food to eat, and that you are getting on, that indeed as well you are communicating however you do this, there is a big part of me that just wants to say to all of you, we should all simply stop and rest. Turn off your mobile phones, your laptops, and your tablets, and simply stop. Maybe when we look back on all of this, we will remember the times of solitude, where we learnt the meaning of getting on with ourselves, and we were not reliant on others or social media to get us through. I wonder whether it's a time also when we learnt to repent, a time when we look back and we say to ourselves, that was a time when I learnt to pray, and I learnt to say sorry and to mean it. Perhaps it's a time also, a time when we make decisions that we really try hard to keep, when we look to God's earth and we think more seriously about its sustainability. During this time of Lent, we remember Jesus and him coming to the end of his ministry. It's a time of distancing. It's a time when he was abandoned by even those closest to him. And it's a time when Jesus, realizing this, turns to the Father, his source of comfort and hope, and he prays. We are reminded during this time that we too need to find a way of coming back to God, to repent, and to draw close to him. So some instructions to end with, ones which I hope are useful for you. It comes from Psalm 33, and it comes after some early verses where the psalmist is writing and saying sorry to God. And then there is this passage which is about hope. Therefore, let all who are faithful offer prayer to you. At a time of distress, the rush of mighty waters shall not reach them. You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with glad cries of deliverance. In our times of distress, we instruct ourselves in the way of God and find a safe place in Him through prayer.